All right. Well, thanks, Shasta, and welcome everybody to this month's Lunch and Learn session. I'm Andy Van Hook, imaginative producer at Appeal Production, and this is the third and final segment of our series on recruitment, training, and retaining employees. We know that workforce is a very important and hot topic in the Shenandoah Valley right now, and wanted to share some different tactics on how you can communicate to recruit new employees, to train the employees, and then now we're going to talk today about hanging on to those employees and making sure that you've got a nice long-term relationship with them. So I'm going to share screen and that. All right. Are we good? Can you see it? The screen? Yes. All right, good. So today's session is titled, "It's Not You, It's Me." Well, okay, it's you. And this is how to avoid getting dumped. And so were you ever in a relationship with someone and wanted to end the romance? Probably we all have been in some way. You may have used the phrase, "It's not you, it's me," as a way to end the relationship and help to, ease the pain and help the other person to not blame themselves. In reality, there was likely something about that other person who caused the split, right? Let's just be honest. There's usually something there. And so when an employee leaves your business, there was probably something about your business that pushed them out of that relationship. And I want to play a little clip that I think speaks to this scenario quite well if you're not familiar with the "it's not you, it's me" getting dumped scenario.
I'm sorry, George.
But I don't understand. Things were going so great. What happened? Something must have happened.
It's not you. It's me.
You're giving me the "it's not you, it's me" routine? I invented "it's not you, it's me." Nobody tells me it's them, not me. If it's anybody, it's me.
All right. George, it's you.
You're damn right it's me.
Look, I was just trying to,
I know what you were trying to do. Nobody does it better than me.
Well, I'm sure you do it very well.
Yes, well, unfortunately, you'll never get the chance to find out.
But I thought things were going great.
Yeah, so did I.
Did she say why?
No. She tried to give me the "it's not you, it's me" routine.
But that's your routine.
Well, apparently word's out.
Maybe you're a Seinfeld fan, maybe you're not. But that's in a nutshell, the "it's not you, it's me" scenario in relationships. And right now in the workforce, the shoe's somewhat on the other foot because employees are deciding. For a long time, employers controlled the working relationship with employees because there was an abundance of people looking for jobs. And as we all know, that's not the case right now. And between the retirement of baby boomers who are moving out of the workforce, a 50-year declining birth rate in our country, so there's not enough babies being born to replenish the workforce over the past 50 years. And in 2021, there was a 53% increase in new business applications nationwide. So people were deciding, either due to COVID or other circumstances, that I'm going to go out and start something else and do my own thing. So they were taking the risk on their own, are taking the risk on their own, and trusting themselves more than they've trusted employers. So in any relationship, control is a very problematic word, and I realize that. And any of us know that in a relationship that's based on control or the feeling of control, usually those only last for so long before a relationship ends. And so while employees hold leverage in the employee-employer relationship right now, employers shouldn't be trying to regain that control. The opportunity in front of you is to take steps to balance the relationship. In any relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friend relationship, a familial relationship, there needs to be balance there. If any of us are pulled too much by one person, usually that doesn't feel like a good relationship for us, and it doesn't bode well for the longevity of the relationship. So I think the opportunity for employers now is to find out and talk through some ways of how they can work towards a balanced relationship with their employees. And so today we're going to talk through the 4 C's to healthy relationships with employees. And funny enough, apparently C has become my favorite letter, because last month we did the 5 C's to A+ training of your employees. So today, the 4 C's to healthy relationships with employees. So communicate. What's the number one starting point of any good relationship? It's communication. I think we can all agree to that. And this one's fairly obvious. I think this starts before you're trying to hold on to your employees. This starts at the moment when you're trying to hire employees. So going back to our first session where we talked about how your vanilla job posts aren't cutting it, the messaging in recruitment is the crucial first step in building a relationship with employees. If you're misleading on the front end on what the job is and the expectations are, regaining trust is nearly impossible. So finding out, being able to communicate those things on the front end sets that expectation. And speaking of expectations, communication also happens during the training process. It's an opportunity to listen to their needs. As you see here, the person in the graphic there is listening. And we all know that we can't just talk to or at people in order to have them do what we want, especially as how the workforce is moving forward. Communication and listening, the listening part of communication is going to be very key for employers. So when they're coming in, as you're onboarding employees in the training process, ask questions so you can listen to their needs, what their expectations are, what they're hoping to get out of their relationship with you as an employer. Granted, some may say, hey, well, they're going to be doing a very manual job or whatever, a labor intensive job, to where it's this, you do this one thing and it's what you do all day. I still think it's very important to communicate on what their needs are, what their goals are, and what their expectations are. If they're there because they need a job to take care of their family, or it's a better opportunity for them for moving from one place to another, or it's a gap, filling a gap between now and the next place that they want to be. Finding that out on the front end is beneficial for you as an employer to make sure that you're helping them accomplish the things that they want to accomplish, as well as accomplish the goals that you have for your company and how they fit within that. So listen to those needs and communicate with them during that onboarding and training process. And also after that, don't stop communicating. It feels like a lot of businesses, you get people in, they get excited. There's maybe a little bit of an onboarding ramp up phase, 30, 60, 90 days, maybe 6 months. And there's a good amount of communication going on. If there's a drop off after that, that doesn't bode well for the relationship either. So regular communication is very important all the way through the relationship. And this takes intentionality, because it's not easy. Even if your company is a small company and there's, 2, 3, 4 people working with you in your business, we're all busy. And so not being intentional about making time to communicate about how they're doing or things that are going on in their job that they would like to address, or any of those aspects, making sure that there's some intentionality on regular communication is very, very important. And for bigger companies, it makes it even harder, right? So if you've got a plant manager or a CEO that has a lot of people who reports to them and a lot of employees, makes it very difficult for that person to go and have any one-on-one attention with an individual employee. So then that communication model on a regular communication model needs to filter down into beyond the C-suite, down into the managers and down to the floor and into the team leads and into the trainers about this regular communication piece. So being very intentional about that communication aspect, it helps. It really does. And it takes that intentionality. Sometimes you may not have the time, and there's opportunities there to where, especially on a larger company, you could send out a monthly video recorded with your webcam and give some updates, say what's going on, talk about successes that are happening, opportunities that the company's seeing, could be 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 5 minutes, very short, on what the numbers were for the month, how we're tracking for the month, congratulating Shasta for 5 years on the job, and congratulating Zach for being an outgoing guy and helping out with the next round of training. Just little things where you could call people out and they get some recognition and they feel some communication. You may not be able to get to them one-on-one and individually. However, you can create that feedback or that communication loop that, yeah, you're communicating with them kind of down the leadership chain, but also that communication's coming back up, that you're hearing that Zach's doing a great job and he's going to be a new guy helping out with the next round of training. All right, well, that needs to come back up so that message can be shared out to everybody else as well. So that communication would help those employees to get some of that recognition and feel like they're part of the process. And if you're doing something fun, it's an opportunity to remind them to get their request in, right? If you're doing a picnic and you haven't gotten any feedback on their order for potato salad, put that in there too. Hey, some of you out there haven't put your order for potato salad in. Make sure you respond to that so we can make sure that you got plenty of tater salad. All right. The next piece of this is Cultivate. And a recent workforce learning report from LinkedIn found that 94% of employees say they would stay at a company longer if it invested in helping them learn. 94%. We know that money and benefits, and those are the top factors in why people leave a job. There are other factors in there too. Are they respected? Do they feel safe? But if they're learning, 94% would stay longer if they felt a company was helping them learn and investing in them learning. It's a pretty big statistic. So investing in workforce training helps cultivate employees because you're helping them grow. You're helping them become a master at what they do, which means they love what they do, which also means they come to work for you because you're the one who's helping them get better, helping them learn, helping them improve in their job, and potentially even paving a path for them to take a next career step in your company. I'm not one here to say everybody's cut out for management or leadership. However, this is an opportunity to see who those people might be who may have an interest in moving into the next role, which helps to boost your company. And if you're cultivating by training and investing in their learning, you're going to have better employees, which make better product, which boosts and grows your business. Last month we talked about the 5 C's of A+ training. I'm going to grab a drink of water real quick. The consistent training and improvement is a key way to cultivate your employees. And for us, our clients who utilize video as part of their training have set up almost an on-demand opportunity for their employees to learn and grow. It doesn't have to be during work hours, can be if that's how they want to set it up. It doesn't have to be. It can be set up on a portal where it's access only, and they could watch it at their leisure if they're excited about learning. You'd be amazed how many people, when they get into a job, they want to learn, they want to absorb, they want to be better at it. Speaking from experience, my first job, I worked at Burger King, and making hamburgers. You had to get promoted to make Whoppers, just so you know. So, really simple. Bun, burger, pickles, ketchup, mustard. Pretty simple. They had you watch a training video on that process, which included how you fed the burger into the machine and yada, yada, yada. Well, the more I got trained and moved up and moved into different spaces, now going from making burgers to making Whoppers, doing chicken sandwiches, all those kinds of things. There were videos along the way with that process. Maybe I'm a geek. Okay, let's just admit it. I am a geek. During my breaks, I would watch the other training videos of the things that I didn't know yet. And to me, it was just fascinating to have a better understanding of how that business operated and places that I could learn and grow and do more. And it just provided me some more opportunities to not just learn when they asked me to, but learn when I wanted to. And so a lot of our clients that are doing training videos are experiencing that. So it's an opportunity to cultivate that learning piece that some people may take the initiative and learn on their own. So I got a question for you all real quick. What are ways that you may be cultivating employees in your organizations? Anybody got any insights and things that or that you've experienced in the past, whether your company gave you an opportunity, how have they cultivated you, or what are you doing to cultivate?
I guess this is me. As I mentioned previously, in one of the other lunch and learns is, I think a written down, not just a verbal path, is extremely important. Whether that be written out, you get so much money per month for college education, or whether that be, in 5 years, let's reconvene and we want you to, move to be a partner, or whatever that is. But a written path is a lot better than a verbal path, because words are easily forgotten, but it's so much nicer to have something that's written out that you can both fall back on.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with that, Zach. And verbal can be forgotten, and it can also be misremembered. It may not be a word. Hopefully we all know what I'm talking about. What Andy remembers and what Zach remembers can be two different things. And so getting something down, documented on what that path forward, or, what that next step is a great call.
I'm sorry, I was on a call and I missed that, but I think that the question was something about what your companies have done to cultivate you. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, cool.
Man,
So
look
I
at that
was
multitasker.
right. I try. Um, I know for me, one of the things that one of my previous companies had done was to pay for education to
Mhm.
further my education, to cultivate me to be better for them and for myself. And then here at the chamber, well, this job is just, it's growth enough just here because you get to experience so many things. But being a small nonprofit, they really try to cultivate us so that we are happy and love our job and just positive
Mhm.
for the
Good.
small businesses and such.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're their cheerleaders.
Right. Because if you can't be a cheerleader inside of the quote unquote four walls of your workspace, how are you going to go out and be a cheerleader with those that are essentially your clients and who you're helping to represent?
Right.
Yeah. Any others?
In my banking life, we did a lot of coaching.
Mhm.
So to break that down was highlights of what they've been doing well and how successful they've been. And then highlights of, some things that they could work on to grow towards, and then find out what their future goals were. So we had current current things we're working on, current things we're celebrating, and then future goals that we're working towards.
And did you feel like that worked well? And did it keep employees engaged and sticking around?
Yeah, I actually had a team of 6, and everybody was very much of a team player in that sense when the coaching was happening. I've had teams where we didn't do coaching and there was no teamwork. There was no drive to want to be successful. So when I implemented the coaching, you can see the difference between the team and the success of the branch. So it does, it helps get them excited. And doing little small things like little contests or, hey, you're the employee of the week because
Mhm.
you did this and this, and highlighting them in front of their peers and their customers gets them excited too, to just keep going forward.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And it also likely made them, maybe I'll ask it as a question. Did you find that it made them not just stay, but want to work for their teammates?
Mhm. Yep, for me, from the teammates, and grows a more of an ownership bond
Mhm.
with the company. Like I'm proud of this place. I'm proud of what I'm doing. I believe in it, and this is how I'm going to show you, and how I'm going to draw other people in.
Yep.
So it does help. I think it boosts their confidence, which makes them feel good about what they're doing, where they're at.
Yep. I think that was you made you made an excellent point there about believing in the company, and how you cultivate those relationships, the coaching and helping people to get better, and also training and educating them to help them to be better personally, right? And help them to be more of a master at what they do, right? It makes us all feel good when we can be seen as an expert in what we do, regardless of what that is. And um, this cultivation factor of helping them learn and train and be coached, it's huge. It really is. Thank you all for taking a moment to share. And you just mentioned celebrate. I think this is a key This is C number 3. This is another key aspect. And, in relationships, speaking from experience in personal relationships, we often forget to celebrate the little things because we're busy, right? A promotion or, well, I haven't missed a birthday yet, so I'm good there. But, there's other little moments that may have been important to my wife or somebody else that I'm close with that they were really proud of that I probably didn't celebrate as well as I could have with them. And this also, like I mentioned earlier, takes intentionality. And for many companies, it's the same thing, right? We're busy. We're busy with our heads in the trenches, doing the work for our clients or our customers and making sure that that's done. But also right now, we're probably short-staffed. So we're doing more and we don't have time, using air quotes, to celebrate. And that doesn't make work fun or enjoyable or a place that you want to go and be at. And so taking the opportunity to celebrate, it helps to get people back together if they've started to splinter off a little bit. And I would challenge you to celebrate everything. And I'm serious, everything. If big things, somebody's having a baby, a kid graduates, those things are external, great. If it's somebody worked an extra shift for nobody asked them to, just don't have to do a big celebration, but find a way to do a celebration that gives them a pat on the back. And it will just continue to build those bonds in that relationship and build that trust, and let people know that you care, and let them know that they're surrounded by people who want to make sure that they're doing well and succeed. Because if we're not celebrating, actually, until we start celebrating the things along the way, this whole cycle of recruiting employees and then training employees and then trying to retain employees, it's just going to get worse. Because it's just grind, right? If we're just grinding all the time, that makes it tough. So especially when we're busy, especially when we're overwhelmed, we have to take a pause. We have to take a deep breath and acknowledge what's going right. It doesn't have to always be about what's wrong. Take a moment and let's talk about what's going right. Celebrate the people who are showing up every day. Let people know you appreciate them. Doesn't have to be a big party. It can be little things. $5 coffee gift card. Know what value, what's important to them. Some little celebrations, pieces of recognition, they go a long way. So I would encourage you, challenge you to make it a very intentional part of your culture.
And now that we have so much social media, I think you could just mention something on social media to their good deed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Them feel good.
Yep. Make them feel good. And if also it lets their family know, right? Lets their family know and see what's going on.
Right.
A member, their loved one is doing something that they can be proud of, so it's a great opportunity there as well. And the last one here, the last C I have for you all today is care. And sometimes that feels like that may feel like it's how much can I quote unquote care? I could go as far as tell you to love them. And I actually would suggest that's the path that your mindset needs to take is love. Find the ways that show that you care. Take moments to appreciate them for who they are, appreciate for what they do and what they're bringing to your organization. Find ways that you're helping them take the next step that they want to take. Maybe it's within your organization, maybe it's not. If, to Zach's point, you may put them on a path for leadership in your organization. However, if they tell you that your organization doesn't have their goal, that's okay too. Help them do the things within your organization to get them there, they are more likely to stick around because they see that you care about them and their future, to learn more, to be a part of that caring situation. They may never leave. They may, but you've set them up in a successful way to where that relationship is there and they can say, hey, you know what? They took really good care of me and they helped me go from here to there. So take the time to care. And, if you're in a larger organization, I know that is really tough to go in and do that with every individual employee. If you have 500 employees, again, that comes, and my suggestion is from the top down, and that becomes part of the culture of the company. Let people know that they care about one another. Let their colleagues and coworkers know that they need to care about one another's well-being internally at work, externally, safety, all those things. And going at it from with a leadership heart of loving your employees and your teammates or coworkers or whatever phrase you use in your organization, it matters. It really does. It truly makes a difference in how people feel valued, and it helps people to thrive. If they're thriving in your organization and thriving in life, they're going to be a much better longer term employee for you. So with that, the 4 C's were, you remember? All right. Communicate was one. I don't have a slide for this. I was just doing a test to see if anybody actually remember. Communicate, cultivate, celebrate, and care. Questions, comments, suggestions? I stumped him. Got him with the love thing. It does it, I get it. Oh, love. I got to love everybody I
Not
work with.
everybody loves their coworkers, Andy.
Yeah. Well, some would say they barely love their families. So,
That's true. You threw that in there and that threw them way off.
Right. Yeah, I know. I stumped everybody at the end with the love.
I just know that one thing that I am huge in is cross training, because I think that creates a knowledge of workplace, like what your coworkers are having to do, like what their job's involved in. Whenever you're frustrated, if something takes them longer than it should or whatnot, if you know a little bit about what other people do, it's very easy to understand, I guess, or empathize with them if they're running behind or if they're overloaded or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
great.
think that helps cultivate and care for your coworkers.
Yeah, that's a great call. Especially if you're in a small organization or a small department and somebody leaves
Right.
to take paid time off, go on vacation.
Right.
Are we left doing 2 jobs? Are they left to have all this work to do when they get back? What does that look like? And if we do that cross-training piece well, or have a solution for that, then that shows that we care, that their time for whatever that they're taking away is important to us. So yeah, that's great.
And since our boss is in Italy, we are doing that cross training right now.
Yeah. I bet. Because it's something a lot of us don't think about until it's on us, right? It's like,
right,
oh yeah,
exactly.
we need to do that. We need to do that. And we don't make the time to do it.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned it. We were just talking about it.
Any other thoughts or questions on the 4 C's of retaining employees, or any other recruitment training or retention conversations we've had over the past 3 months, or anything else?
And Rachel just jumped on there. She was at the very end. We are recording, and the other 2 previous sessions were recorded. So I'll send you that so you can actually watch those and follow up on those if you'd like to. I'm sorry, Shelley.
All right. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Shelley. Well, you hear no other questions. This is me. My contact info is in there. If you want to scan the QR code with your phone, that will put my contact information right into your phone. So that is available also. I'm always happy to chat about any of these employee workforce topics. And, we are a video marketing company, and we help figure out the communication piece at each of those stages with our clients, and how they can recruit better, train better, and retain better.
All right. Well, thank you, Andy. That was great. Like I said before, all of these are recorded, and they are on our YouTube channel. This one will be uploaded later. And we have another couple lunch and learns coming up the 3rd Wednesday of each month. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.